back on the volley. Now, it's been a while since I've put a Celtic video up. I know, I do apologise. And, I'm to blame. No excuses whatsoever. No excuses anyway, which, is worth saying. Put it that way. But I will say something. Obviously, I've been watching the games, okay? And you're good, bro. You can walk past anytime you want. So, I have been watching the games, yeah. I've watched Axum, A Celtic State of Mind. So I've read all the comments recently that's been going up. And I'll be honest with you, I honestly believe that, and I've said this so many times, I trust our recruitment department. And I thought we were okay. I thought to myself, okay, right, the players that we've got in, our recruitment department know what they're doing. And I still fully believe that, yeah. But I saw all the negative comments about the transfers, okay. Lack of transfers. Now, this is where I was a little bit, well, hold on a second. I don't think it's lack of transfers because we brought in like 8-9 players. But maybe it's some of the areas that we're missing, which we should be concentrating on, i.e. like the right wing, okay, or a winger and an attacker. And you know what? I completely agree now with everything that's been said. Now, Paddy Lavery sent me like a screenshot of the situation of the outgoings, incomings, and, the money which the Celtic board have. So they do have money to spend. They could spend it. And maybe they should. Now, I've been saying this, I said this from day one, that we don't worry about our domestic form, even with the players that we have, yeah? Because I think that's really, really a done deal. I really don't worry about our domestic form. Even though I will say, yeah, the first 2 league games, even though we won, we didn't really play the Celtic way. Now, I put that down to the fact that, okay, it's the first, 2 games. Maybe some of the players need to gel. Rodgers needs to, make sure, okay, understand where he's going to be putting some players, like Nygren. Should he put him on the wing and put Engels in the middle? And to be totally honest, that's what I would have done in our Champions League game. Now, we smashed Falkirk, okay, fine, but we expected that. Just as we expected to be Aberdeen and St Mirren. So, every season I have been saying that our main goal, what we need to concentrate on, is Europe, the Champions League. Now, this year we had to play Kairat Almaty, yeah? Team from Kazakhstan, who've already played 3 qualifiers. The last one they beat, they lost to Slovan Bratislava away from home, 1-0, and they beat them at home 1-0, 1 on penalties. Now, I was talking to Paddy before our game, and I said to him, he asked me what I thought. I said, look, yeah, we should beat them. I don't see any problems whatsoever, but I did say they are going to play with a low block and try and hit us on the break. But we're used to playing against teams that have a low block. But I'll be honest with you, the first 45 minutes, I'm like, man, what's going on here? This isn't Celtic. The build-up was really slow. And if you look throughout the game, the last third of the pitch, we were overhitting passes, we were misplacing passes, and we were misplacing passes even in the middle of the field. And I remember one of them, I can't remember who gave the ball away, and they were straight on the attack. So I take my hat off to Almaty because they came out with a game plan and they had a great performance. Now, a 0-0 draw for them is equal to a win. Their fans, I think they had 3,000 fans at the stadium. They celebrated as a win, and I don't blame them. Now, one of the commentators he came out with an observation. What he basically said was, is this how they planned it? Is this what they wanted so that the board would dip into their pockets? Because let's be honest, if Celtic had smashed Almaty 3-0, the board would have probably said, no, we don't need to buy a winger. We don't need a striker. And to be totally honest, I don't know whether they're wrong or they're right at the moment. And I'll tell you why, yeah? It's not because I'm backing the board. No, absolutely not. I'm just wondering if Rodgers needs to understand where he wants to put his players. Look, Adam Eder, I'm pretty sure I haven't seen any of the Axum or Ryan 118. I haven't had the time. So I don't know what's being said, but it wouldn't surprise me if Eder is getting some stick. But let's be fair to the guy. He had no service. He had no service. Now, the first attempt really that we had was James Forrest. Okay, great shot. Keeper done a fantastic save and pushed it onto the post, and it just came straight back into the keeper's hands. The last minute of the game, oh man, Maida was through, man. Maida was through, and you would have put your house on Maida scoring that goal. But unfortunately, it just wasn't our night. And I think that just proved it. Now, take nothing away from James Forrest. Take nothing away from Anthony Ralston. But let's be honest. They're playing in a Champions League qualifier. They make up part of the squad. They're not starters, but James Forrest started. I can't remember the last time James Forrest started a Champions League game. I think it was 2003. Anthony Ralston comes on because Johnson looks like he's pulled his hamstring. God knows how long he's going to be out for. But Anthony Ralston isn't a starter. He's a squad player. So what does that mean? Are we going to start him? He couldn't put Inamura on because he wasn't part of the squad for the Champions League, yeah? So I don't know where we go from here, to be totally honest. The return leg is going to be very difficult because Almaty are going to do the same thing. They're going to play with a low block, try to hit us on the attack. And I tell you what, we need to be a lot more precise with our passes in the last third of the pitch. We need to create more chances because we had 2 shots on target, 2 in the whole game. You know, the second half, we played a little bit better. It was a little bit more of the Celtic that we know and have come to love. Yang, who apparently we were supposed to be selling, he definitely made a difference. He was a lot faster, a lot more attacking. And we were spreading the ball about, playing a lot faster, as we normally do, unlike in the first half. I still honestly believe that will go through, yeah. I cannot see us going to Kazakhstan and losing to Almaty because we are the better team on paper. But we need to play a hell of a lot better than that, and we need to play like we played in the second half for the full 90 minutes. So look, to sum it all up, yeah, I haven't been impressed with our performances in the league, to be totally honest. I don't think we've been free-flowing. Yes, we won the first 2 league games, but it really, you know, it doesn't fill me with confidence. First 45 minutes against Almaty, we were poor, man. We were poor. I don't care what anyone says. Okay, you can criticize, yeah, but whatever. For me, my opinion, we were poor. And I'm not used to us playing at that level. I'm used to us playing the Celtic way, fast, free-flowing football. I only saw a bit of that in the second half against Almaty. So, look, I'm still full of confidence. Apparently, we might still get a couple of players in. Again, I'm not going to bet my house on it. I mean, just have a look at what happened to Spurs, yeah? They were supposed to be getting Eze. Who comes along? Arsenal. And they steal Eze from them. After, Levy had been talking to them, Crystal Palace, for months now, whatever, yeah? And apparently Fabrizio Romano had come out, and Fabrizio Romano, okay, right, hats off to me, normally 99% of the time he gets it right, said that Eze was practically a Spurs player. Boom. Turned out that Arsenal sneaked in, stole it from them. So this is why I don't like talking about transfers until it actually gets done. I have a lot of faith in the team. I didn't see Rodgers very happy, and if you saw Rodgers' post-match interview, he didn't come out with it like completely. I mean, he made us understand that he's not too happy with the transfer situation, and it's a little bit like deja vu. I think he's been through this before, and I'll be honest with you, it's his last season on his contract, and he may at the end of the season just walk if he's not backed. So look, let's see how the season goes, yeah? Full faith in Celtic, full faith that they'll get it together, full faith, that we'll get back into the flow of things. Domestically, no problems. But we have a lot of work to do when it comes to Europe, when it comes to the Champions League. Anyway, look, let's take it one at a time. We've got Almaty coming up, the second leg, and hopefully we'll beat them and go through into the league group stages. Anyway, look, that's it from me, Shah.